2008, and you have an ear for the classical music. The classical V8 music. Full of tone and complexity. And violence. Or maybe it's 2025 and all you care about is speed. And you like the sound of vacuum cleaners. Either way, it's time for a race. Hey guys, public service announcement. Hagerty's Guaranteed Value Insurance allows you to agree on the value of your collectible car before it gets punted by a Nissan Altima. So you're not left arguing with some insurance adjuster about what your car's worth after it's already been crashed. Visit this site to get a quote. Also, our friends at Hagerty Marketplace want you to know these 3 cars are available for auction right now. Visit their website, which is in the link below. And I'm about to prove just how perfectly mechanically perfect they are. Of our 3 German sports sedans, the Audi came first, like you did on your prom night. It ditched the S4's 40-valve V8 in favor of a 32-valve with direct injection and the highest redline of any cross-plane crank production V8 ever, 8,000 RPM. It also set the record for the highest specific output, getting 420 horsepower out of just 4.2 liters. The RS4 sent its RS power to all 4 wheels, 60% of it going to the rear, all channeled through a 6-speed manual, which was the only gearbox available. A year later, BMW dropped the M3 with exactly as many horsepower. 414 was its US rating, but Audi had used metric horsepower, so they're actually identical. However, BMW made this power from just 4.0 liters, meaning it dethroned the Audi for specific output. And it also broke the redline record again, because this MV8 redlined at 8,300 RPM. Those are records still unbeaten today. The rear-drive-only M3 eventually got a dual-clutch automatic, but this is a segment that was defined by the manuals. Well, except the Mercedes, which was automatic only. But it made up for that deficiency with 1.5 times the displacement of the other V8s, and 1.5 times the torque, too. This was the dawn of the naturally aspirated 6.2-liter AMG V8, whose cylinder heads shared some design components with the Porsche Carrera GT. It revved to only 7,200 RPM, made 451 horsepower, 443 pound-feet of torque, and one hellacious bark. Whoa. The C-Class was also a hellacious porker, weighing the most of all 3 cars. The BMW had a better power-to-weight ratio, and the Audi has all-wheel drive for the whole shot. So, which of these peak early 2000s super sedans was quickest? Let's find out. Have a winner, and that winner is your ear holes, because this was the best sounding drag race since RuPaul's Greatest Hits. That can only mean 2 things. Number 1, the internal combustion engine peaked 15-20 years ago, and number 2, Mercedes is quickest. This was about the
time when automatics started beating manuals. And well, the Mercedes quick-shifting 7-speed put it 5 car lengths ahead of that BMW. Of course, having 6.2 liters of quad-cam V8 didn't hurt it either. The Mercedes explodes off the line, fighting wheel spin the whole way through first gear. But the tires don't just go up in smoke. They throw this thing forward so hard, it still beats the all-wheel drive Audi from a dig.
The AMG gets to 60 in just 3.9 seconds. 3.9, which, if you failed math, is less than 4. The only way to get to 60 quicker back in 2008 was to put a turbocharger on your brand new Ferrari. This wasn't supercar quick, it was even quicker. And by the way, that's not just a 0 to 60 trick. This Mercedes would have beat those supercars through the quarter mile too. The BMW is about 5 car lengths behind the Mercedes, and it'll cross about a half a second behind, traveling 3 miles an hour slower. Most of its disadvantage comes from its manual transmission, because it needs 3 shifts to get down the quarter mile, each of which fully interrupts power. In gear, it pulls just about as hard as the Mercedes. And to the satisfaction of so many German engineers who seem to hate manual transmissions, it's the stick that costs the BMW its potential win. The BMW's engine is all about top end. Its power peak happens at 8,300 RPM, so that insane redline isn't just there for show. The drawback is a lack of low-end torque, which doesn't matter here at all. Relative lack of torque actually makes it easier to launch, but the shifter's long throws slow those shifts a bit. Still, it manages to pull a clean victory over the gorgeous Audi. The Audi roars across the line in just 13.2 seconds. And I wish there was some other great news, like, oh, it's about to start catching up to the other 2 cars, but it's just not. I think what we're likely seeing is the extra drag from the all-wheel drive system, making its least favorable power-to-weight ratio even less favorable. But it is the best-looking car here, and I think it actually might have the best-sounding exhaust, too. Smells great. Delicious. Welcome back to a time when even the most powerful sedans in the world didn't have enough power to fully benefit from an all-wheel drive launch on dry pavement. You have to do some pretty unsympathetic things to extract a perfect launch from a 420 horsepower all-wheel drive manual transmission car, but get it right and the Audi will hit 60 miles an hour in 4.6 seconds, exactly as quick as a Lamborghini Gallardo. But the shortest gears of the bunch and a light shifter that allows for lightning-quick gear changes aren't enough to help, and the Audi crosses last at the slowest trap speed. So the AMG is the clear and easy winner. But how does it stack up against a car nearly 2 decades newer that, adjusted for inflation, costs half as much? Or specifically, the brand new Mk8.5 Volkswagen Golf R. There's no contest in sound, but maybe there is in speed. And speaking of speed, maybe you like to speed, which is why you need a Valentine 1 radar locator to find the radar before it finds you. And I brought a vintage one for the vintage car too. Haha, let's go. This
This facelifted Mk8.5 Golf R gains 13 horsepower for a total of 328, and the exact same 295 pound-feet of torque as the BMW's V8 from half the displacement and half the cylinders. Our test car's Euro-style package gives titanium exhaust, manual cloth non-cooled seats, and a slick top for what is probably the lightest spec Golf R you can buy, and therefore likely the quickest. But it still wasn't enough to beat that monster Mercedes.
So what I'm seeing is that it's taken nearly 20 years for the hottest of all hot hatches to almost catch up with the quickest of the supercar quick peak sports sedan. In those intervening years, the Golf R has grown to cost $53,731. So thanks to the magic of depreciation, you might be able to own 2 of those screaming V8 super sedans for the price of 1 Volkswagen. Need I say more? No, because my shirt says it all for me. That's the link you need to visit. Also, don't forget, the 3 old cars are for sale right now on Hagerty Marketplace. There's a link and information below.